What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do Sandopolis 1 with Knuckles. This level rep is one of the hardest tricks in the Knuckles run. It is um, the major gatekeeper, and for a very long time, it was actually a crapshoot where sometimes the specific frame you needed to jump was just not even there, thanks to subpixels. But I did find a way some time ago to make this consistent, and I just never made a video on it. So here it is, Sandopolis 1 with Knuckles. So the most optimal way to do this is to just hold right and then jump, and then once you get onto this bit of the ground, you want to jump here, and then that's gonna actually make it so that when you do these jumps on the sand here, you'll get 3, and the third one will actually make you land right away. That's just a little optimization so that you can land quickly, glide on the rock, and then get a super glide off that badnik. Now, very important here, you want to make sure that you land to the right of the spring and don't get hit with it. You don't want to get hit by the spring while in midair, and the reason is because of something unique to Knuckles in his glide. So whenever you land from a glide, the game imposes, if you look down here, it imposes something called a horizontal control lock. Now the control lock basically makes it so that holding left or holding right does not influence the character. You can't move the character when you do this. Control lock counts down every frame, but only when you're on the ground. It does not count down when you're in the air. So if you were to glide and then get hit by the spring in the air, the spring also gives you that control lock, which we'll see here. The glide gives it and the spring gives it. So if we run into the spring here, what we're essentially doing is making it so that we are grounded by the time the spring hits us. And as you can see, the control lock has already started counting down. So the idea is so that we hold left throughout the entirety of this, because we want the control lock to end. And then once it ends, holding left will allow us to slow Knuckles down. By slowing Knuckles down, we actually increase the frame window that we can use to get this jump. So this right here is the first frame where the jump works. The next frame will also work. If you do this setup, these 2 frames are always available to you. If you don't do this setup, then the jump is kind of a crapshoot. The frame right before this is actually dangerous. It will put you more to the right, and you'll wind up on top of the loop, and you'll either have to kill Knuckles, or you'll have to go all the way around, or you'll have to play the level out normally. So you definitely do not want to jump on the frame before this. So this frame and the next frame will work. So just jump and don't hold any direction. Just release to neutral. I do recommend pausing for this trick too. And that's going to put you here. Once you're here, you do one quick spin dash. Since you're facing to the right, he's going to move over to the left. Once you do that, you'll be able to jump out and then glide and grab a wall roughly around this area. You'll grab a wall. What you want to do is jump off of that wall and then tap right in order to face right. Once you do that, you're going to jump off here, you're going to face to the right, and then you're going to fall down here. Once you fall down here, you want to look very closely at Knuckles. You'll see just a tiny bit of him sticking out. This is the frame when you want to glide. Now this glide is extremely precise, and once again I recommend using pause because you only have one frame to get this glide. The glide itself will only work on this frame, and as far as when you release the glide, you have a 2-frame window to release the glide. But assuming you use pause, it should be easy to time at least a release. You'll still need to nail the 1 frame for the glide, but the release will be guaranteed if you use pause. So once you do that, just hold down and get a spin dash going like that. You want to rev, and then you want to hold right. What this is gonna do is it's gonna allow Knuckles to zip while he's in a roll state. The reason we need him to zip in a roll state is because there's actually a bit of collision here that will block him if he zips while standing, because his standing hitbox is too tall to get underneath it. So we need him to do the zip while in a rolling state so that his hitbox is short enough to go clean under it. Once we do that, you want to keep holding right, and then we want to, I actually want to get rid of this. Alright. Want to keep holding right, and there are a few frames that work, but over here, this is the target frame. This is one of the frames that will work almost all the time. Unfortunately, this trick is a little subpixel based, but because of your position in the wall, it's kind of similar to Mushroom Hill 1 and Flying Battery 1 level wraps, where most of the time this will work. So just look at these monitors here. Once you see this bit of sand underneath them, pause the game and then release to neutral and unpause, and you'll most of the time you'll get the level wrap like that. And of course, just speed this up, and then you fight the boss as normal. Now, for this last bit, you actually just want to count. I used the timer here, so once the boss lands, you want to just look at the timer, and you want to count for roughly 2 seconds. Now I say 2 seconds, but generally seconds start with 0, right? So if you're one of those people that starts your count with 1, then you want to count to 3, basically. If you're one of the people that starts your count with 0, then you want to count to 2 seconds. Then you move forward, jump into him and get hit, re-grab that ring, and then hit the right side of his head so that he bounces into the sand quicker. And there you go, that's Sandopolis 1 with Knuckles. I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, just let me know.